What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about all these things that we talked about in the last video, but now we actually get to see it in the game. And the first thing being is the check-in login event, which is awesome. And I already picked up 1,000 rubies, and we're going to be able to collect 10,000 rubies over a 9-day period. Then you're going to be able to get a BS memory, a free BS memory for your Rugal, or your Orochi, or it's going to be Chrysalid or Geese, because those are going to be the two new Boss Syndrome characters, which is fantastic. And seriously, for all you new players that don't know, this kind of thing is freaking amazing. This is our currency in the game, and the fact that they're giving a free memory, it really is just over the top. I mean, if you are able to get BS Orochi when they show up, which is on the 29th of this month, if you're able to get one of the BS characters, you can use that memory to actually level them up and awaken them, which is massive, my friends. Then we have the super mission. And this is the super mission for imprint stones. And I mentioned to all of you, this is an imprint stone selection box. And the imprint stone that you should pick is this one right here. This PG rate stone goes up to 8% increased power charge rate. When it's equipped to your fighter, you're going to gain an extra 8% PG rate. It is a massive, massive stone. To put things in perspective, whenever I'm running against Immortal Rock and I'm running with the first team with Kay, Rachel from the 7 Knights collab, and The Rock, whenever I run Rachel with the PG stone, I actually gain about 50 to 60 million points, because we're just doing our ultimate skills more often and delaying the timer. That's how freaking strong those PG stones are. You can see how many I have, and you can see how many of the others I have. There's other stones that are okay, like this stone here. It can decrease damage received, but it's only upon using Awakened skill. It's kind of meh, but it has proved to be useful on some characters like Orochi Yori. I mean, you do have the recovery stone, like this one here, that actually gives extra attack. Really good for Immortal Vulcan. But the PG stone, really, in my opinion, is really where it's at. And then you're going to get all these hammers. You're going to be able to get these bottles. Look at all this. Nice. Got the tickets. Gold hammer right here. More hammers. I mean, lots and lots of hammers, obviously. And then, of course, you're going to get 2 elites and then quite a few golds at the end, which is really nice. Free is amazing. And then we get to the Akane event. Now, originally, I thought that the dice game, we were going to be able to get the dice maybe through doing our dailies. Kind of. Not exactly. Or maybe we'd have to craft them, which we don't have to craft them, which is great. We actually get the dice pretty easy. But before we talk any more about that, I want to talk about what's in this thing. So if you make 20 rounds around that board, you're going to get dimensional invitation ticket. For those of you that don't know, these tickets are exactly like memories for collab characters. If you have one of these, say you have one of the 7 Deadly Sins characters, and you say you have Meliodas, right? One of the Meliodases, and you have this ticket, you can actually awaken them to 1 star. If you have 2 of these tickets, you could take them up even further. I mean, and so on and so on and so on, which is freaking awesome, guys. So cool that they're giving a free dimensional invitation ticket, more gold hammers, along with the gold hammers that we're getting from the super mission, more gold hammers, right? You got the bottles, more gold hammers, AP, some rubies, which we all love. And then on top of that, you have all these rubies in here, and you can absolutely farm for these dice. If you click on this top here, you can say to obtain dice in the story mode. So if you play story mode, you can obtain your dice. You can obtain your dice in the event dungeon, the power-up dungeon, and the epic quest. The event dungeon is actually here in the dungeon. Click on dungeon, click on event, and all these little icons here will show you that you can gain dice from here. So if you click on here, and you should be playing this anyways, you can get dice. I've already done this one here. You can actually get dice, and so on and so on. So you can farm your dice just doing all your regular dailies, which is awesome. Everything in here you can get dice from, and then you can also get dice from the power-up dungeon. And if you notice, you'll be able to get dice from pretty much everywhere. So no matter where you are, what level you're at, you can get dice. It really doesn't matter, which is awesome. So pretty much everybody, as long as they have enough AP, are going to be able to get the dice for the Akane dice event. And that, my friends, is awesome. So whether you're going for bottles, cores, cards, and what have you, you're going to be able to get dice. Now, I haven't tested like all the bugs. I have no idea if the bugs are good or not. I started up this game right after the reset. And you can also get dice from the story modes or epic quest. You see these little icons here? So if you go in the story mode, play whatever level. So if we're on, say you're on normal, right? And you're at the very beginning, you can get dice, right? If you're on hard, whatever, you'll be able to get dice. Pretty cool, honestly, that they made the dice so accessible for everybody. An epic quest, if you're farming your epic quest, say we'll go to episode 0, and we'll start off the first one. All you newer players, you're going to be around here, right? Maybe you're going to be at the first one. You can get dice from here as well, which is nice, my friends. Or on, episode 1 or whatever, anywhere in Epic Quest in the story mode, you're going to be able to get dice. So that's how you're going to be farming your dice, which is awesome. Now I want to touch on what we can expect from Chrysalid and Geese Howard, because we know that they are going to be coming as the new BS characters on April 29th of this month. Click on here. There we go. All right, that's what we want. So what could they do from our man Geese? Well, they definitely can give him his hyper armor. We have hyper armor on both the BS characters and the SS characters, so I would imagine they're definitely going to give him, well, I can't say definitely, but I'm pretty sure they're going to give him hyper armor. They could give him a reset skill like BS Rugal that resets his hyper armor skill, or maybe reset one of his other skills. They could give him a higher dot explosion. He already has dot explosion right here. Deals shock damage equal to 3 times remaining shock damage, which is why this version of Geese does so much damage. And something that's always hindered Geese a lot is that he gains super armor upon 4 seconds upon landing a blast skill, which are 2 of his skills, his first and his third skill. However, it's on a 13-second cooldown. That's something that's always really hurt Geese. He does have the stun on his second skill, which is quite nice, even when they're guarding. But he's just one of them characters that's very tricky to play. So I'm really, really hoping that they're going to do him justice, give him the hyper armor, give him some reset skills. I would love to see them keep the dot explosion, in all honesty. And really, lightning is very thematic for Geese. So I'm hoping they keep that. And the other thing they definitely can do, which they've done for all the SS and BS characters, is give him a 3PG. And just like what they did for Rugal, if you had BS Rugal's 3PG and you have 98 Rugal, you can actually put BS Rugal's 3PG on 98 Rugal and actually use them in Immortal Raw. Well, I'm hoping kind of for the same thing for Geese here. Hopefully we can use his 3PG on him so he can be more applicable for other game modes. Now, I'm praying that Geese is not a red. I don't want him to be red because if he's a red, it'll make this version of him actually less relevant. But if the new version of Geese is a yellow, then this version actually still stays very relevant, especially if he gets a 3PG. Because of his leadership, you could actually use him against the Immortal Rock. He'd have the type advantage, and he'd be able to build up his 3PG pretty quick and do his ultimate skills, which would be freaking awesome. And hopefully the 3PG would be a fairly long animation. Chrysalid here, in all honesty, is pretty much kind of the same things. Really, when it comes to the BS characters and the SS characters, hyper armor, reset, ignore guard, all these things are absolutely meta for these characters. I mean, Chrysalid actually has always been a very underrated PvP character. He's actually really strong in PvP because of the obtain 50% power and reset cooldown, active skills when HP is 4% or less on a 30-second cooldown. I mean, he just gains a bunch of power all at once, so you can do your ultimate skill pretty quick, and then he actually resets his skills on top of that. It actually makes him like the comeback kid, in all honesty, in PvP. It's just PvE. He's always just lacked. He just really doesn't have the best kit. I mean, you can use him in RHD for your red balanced team, but he's really not the best option. And something else to note, if you do have BS Orochi, BS Orochi's leadership also has that PG rate leadership for boss fighters. And Chrysalid is a boss fighter. And Geese actually isn't a boss fighter. You can see here, he doesn't have the boss fighter tag. So he won't benefit from BS Orochi's leadership. So it almost make you think that Geese here, the BS version of him, might have a PG rate leadership. You never know. Or he might have a leadership like SS Mai, where he gives that 60% increase to male fighters. And hopefully he'll have a 3PG that doesn't get interrupted like SS Athena, SS Mai, BS Rugal, all of those characters, Genesis 5PG, and a few others. So let me know how you're all feeling about the update. Let me know if PvP's been playing well for you, if the game seems to be less laggy, if you're having a lot less problems, and if the game is playing smoothly for you. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time, Sunday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.